So here we have a new 2025 Honda Civic. This one is a hybrid, sport trim level, comes in rally red, and then we have black cloth interior. The powertrain consists of a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine paired with a electric motor, and that goes through a 1-speed direct drive transmission. As we come around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with the LED daytime running lights, and the lights don't flash like that. That's just my camera picking them up. But love the design here. These new Civics, they've just been doing a good job at keeping these sporty looking. They just look fantastic in my opinion. Now down here to the wheels, these are gonna be 18-inch alloy. Look really good. We get passive keyless entry on the front, and then to the door panel here, power mirror controls that have blind spot monitors in them, power door locks, rear window lock. You get one-touch up and down windows for the front, regular power windows on the back, trunk release, bottle holder, traction control, get a manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. Love the pedals. And there we have a 6-way manual driver's seat, so we can pump the seat up or down. Seat back can be controlled there, and then the seat bottom, we can move it forward or back. But a huge thanks to Darrell Waltrip Honda here in Franklin, Tennessee for allowing me to review this Civic today. I'll leave a link below in the description, but if you're looking to cfind the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But great fuel economy, 50 city, 47 highway, 49 combined. Now I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, so let's see how I sit behind myself. So really great space back here. Big thing is just I have size 15 feet, so it's really hard to fit my feet in between the bottom of the seat here and then the bottom here. But for the most part, other than that, great space back here. And even the headroom is pretty nice. Seat back pocket on that side. There's a view of the front from back here. And then there is the sunshade for the sunroof. And then this middle part of the seat folds down. Bottle holders are in the middle. And LED reading lights throughout. Now you could hang a shirt or a pair of pants. I wouldn't hang both on there. It's just a bit, I don't want to call it flimsy, but it's not like a pickup truck. It's not meant to hold a uniform or anything like that. Now, child locks on the side here, lock, unlock. And then fuel filler there. And there's a look at the back end. And that's a look underneath. But trunk space is pretty nice, especially for this to be a hybrid. I think it's pretty good size. And then we have a tire inflator kit in there. And you can pull these on either side to fold the rear seat, so that releases it, and then you just pull it all the way down once you get to the seat itself. So to the rear passenger side, fold this down. You can run longer objects through to the front. You can see you can do it on that side as well. Top tethers for the car seats are on behind the back of the seats themselves. And then your lower anchors are behind this cover here, if you can see that. Front passenger seat here. Manual seat back there. Seat bottom here, we can adjust that forward or back. And then glove compartment there with the owner's manual. And then I don't think I popped the hood. So let me do that very quickly. There's the latch right there. And there is that 2-liter hybrid engine. And then one other thing, I'm just gonna show the blinkers. But LED blinkers on the front for a really nice look. Again, I really like this Sport to be at $30,100 and have the hybrid set up. Has a nice look to it, definitely. But leather wrap steering wheel here, feels nice. I like that it feels thick, doesn't feel flimsy. That horn, it is what it is. Now to the radio here, we do get AM, FM, and then on top of that, you get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. You can connect your Bluetooth device there, and several different ways to go through all of that. But I like the system here, and I say this with Hondas all the time because it's very, very simple. Everything makes sense. Go to your menu here, and then you can fool with your Bluetooth settings, sound settings, all of that's in there. And then your language as well. Hazards down here. Backup camera there. Guidelines follow you. You turn the steering wheel, and you have a few different views as well. Now down below, we have our dual zone automatic climate controls and 3-stage heated front seats. We can control fan direction here, fan speed here, cut the whole system on or off by pressing that button, and then your auto mode is there. Turn that off by adjusting fan speed, and you can sync, unsync there, or just unsync by adjusting the temperature on the passenger side. AC, you can turn that on or off. You get 2 USB-C ports down here. One's for charging, one can actually link to the radio. Then you have a 12-volt back there. And then for the shifter, grab the lever, reverse, neutral drive, pretty straightforward. And then your drive modes are here. You get Econ, Normal, and Sport there. Electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. You have your automatic brake hold there. Bottle holders. Center console cubby space with a removable tray. It's actually a pretty good size for a car like this, I think. But move the sunshade back. One touch slide. You can tilt the roof as well, but that's how far it goes back with one touch. And there's a look at the back seat from up here. But your sunroof controls right there, and then you have the LED lamps for the front. Vanity mirror. And then back to the steering wheel itself, blinkers, high beams, and then you can set that to auto there. And then you have auto high beams there as well. But one time off, intermittent low, high, you can adjust that intermittent frequency there. Pull up here for the front fluid. And then right side of the steering wheel, adaptive cruise, lane centering, gap adjust for the adaptive cruise. Then you can set your speed, cancel there. And then left side, track list, radio station presets, volume, go through your sources, home button, and voice recognition. Now this home button and this little scroll bar is for the left side of the gauge cluster. So you can go into your vehicle settings here, and you can actually adjust your just meter setup if you want to do that. Change your language, units of measurement, all of that. It's just, there's a ton in here. But you can customize the display, so on and so forth. And then your paddle shifters behind the steering wheel, those control your regen there. So you can toggle that up or down. But I'll show you that on the test drive. Push button start right back there. And finally, here's the key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid Sport out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Civic Hybrid, it's not a slouch. Don't get me wrong about that. But it's not necessarily something that is Civic Type R performance, and that's not what you get one of these for. What I will say is you're able to get 50 plus miles per gallon with this thing. And it's nice that you have something that gets up like this that still gives you that kind of fuel economy. And all it takes is just a flip of the drive mode button and or changing your overall, I guess, throttle response based on your foot in the pedal. But I like how it handles. It feels like a regular Civic, drives like a regular Civic. The only thing that's different is you have a hybrid powertrain as opposed to not having one. And I think it's worth the extra money to get that fuel economy. Especially if you plan on keeping this as long as you should, because these are relatively reliable. I mean, they're downright reliable, but I mean, for the segment, comparing it to a Corolla hybrid or something like that, I mean, it's about what and what, which is good. And there aren't that many four-door hybrids left. I feel like the Japanese and the Korean manufacturers pretty much have that on lock for the most part. But having the direct drive as opposed to a traditional CVT really makes this more fun to drive, for me at least. It just feels more natural. I drive an EV as a daily, so I just like how it is controlled. I don't feel like I'm having those fake shifts and just those wonky sounds that you get from a continuously variable transmission. And that's one of the pluses that this has over a vehicle that might have a CVT, is just this one-speed direct drive transmission that you get in EVs. But under light throttle, relatively quick. Again, I'm in the normal drive mode and it still pulls. And I think that does come from having the direct drive as opposed to the CVT, just kind of having to match the rev points and things of that nature, and just kind of slow to sluggish, I guess, just overall. Love this transmission setup, and Honda did a great job putting this together. And it's so quiet. Another plus of a direct drive is if I want to like slow down or whatever, even if I'm in sport mode, it's all based on throttle response again, not on where the transmission's kind of sitting in the rev range there. And that's another like big plus of having a direct drive as opposed to a CVT. And this really does give a true, almost Fisker Karma experience when you have a direct drive paired with the four-cylinder. It just drives differently. You feel like you're getting all of your power from a generator-like output as opposed to, again, having to worry about those shift points. Here we go. Gonna give it a pull from about 45 because it's very thick out here. Yeah, it pulls very nicely. Now I want to give one more thanks to Darrell Waltrip Honda here in Franklin, Tennessee for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get to the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But I think a solid car for the money. You get the hybrid powertrain, something that drives nicely, feels good under throttle, really efficient when it comes to fuel, and it's still fun to drive. It's not a boring hybrid, but it's a neat take, again, what Honda did putting the direct drive transmission in here. It does make it more fun. It does make it just a more feasible option in my opinion. And with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid.